Welcome back, Revelers. We're back here with our 2016 year in review, and we're going to shift focus here to gaming. We have our expert, Shari G, as usual. 2016 was definitely an interesting year for gaming, wouldn't you say, Shari? The year saw the good, the bad, and the really, really ugly.
Yep, that it did.
Yeah. So what's first?
Well, first of all, the end is here. The end of waiting, I mean. So a lot of fans out there wait for games to come out, and they're like, "Oh, I just can't wait for this game. I can't wait." But they have to wait because the studios call the shots. Well, some of them actually got their games this year. Their patience was rewarded when two titles had their release: The Last Guardian, which has been in production since 2007.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, I guess they don't believe much in deadlines.
Yeah.
But to beat them, in more ways than one, Final Fantasy 15. Now that one's been in development since 2006. So they both released this year. They're fairly decent reviews. Not perfect, but, well, the fans will have to say if it was worth the wait.
Right, right.
Unfortunately, Project Red's Cyberpunk 2077, that still has a release date of when it's done.
Okay, when it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of deadlines I deal with at work.
Yeah, well, on the plus side, they do have the luxury of doing that, so hopefully when it comes out, it'll be awesome. Mind you, it might not get here till 2077, but hey.
At some point it'll be done.
Right. And speaking of a long time coming, fans of Myst and its sequels like Riven and such, they've all wished, "Oh, can't you guys do another game? That was fun. Stuff isn't the same." Well, they got their wish because Cyan Games came back with the Miller brothers, Rand and Robin, and they gave us Abduction.
Yes, they sure did.
It's a spiritual successor to Myst.
Well, you're a big fan of the Myst series, so what did you think about Abduction?
Just as brain-breaking as Myst was. Yeah, lovely graphics. Myst, as some will recall, for the time was astounding. Nothing had ever been seen quite like it. Now, the graphics obviously don't hold up to today's standards, but at the time it was wow. Abduction, gorgeous to look at. Beautiful, and unfortunately, if you don't have a beefier computer, you kind of just had to watch it on YouTube. It required a lot of number crunching by the CPU. So, the ones who could play it though, well, they had an interesting ride. There was a lot of story, a lot of lore to be found, a few odd characters dotted around. It was a fun game.
What about the rest of 2006? What else was new this year?
Let's see. How about pixel art? Now, that was a good year for pixel art. There are a lot of fans still of the old style, and there are a couple of interesting releases. One was our Final Station, which is a side-scrolling zombie shooter. That was an interesting title. We had it released here, the English version of it. It came to fairly decent reviews, and it...
Thank you.
It caught attention of quite a few YouTubers. If anyone hasn't seen it or hasn't played it for themselves, they could take a look at it on YouTube. It is an interesting story, I will say that. I will give no spoilers, but it is worth a look. A couple other things that happened. There's a platformer, very whimsical art, very lovely pixel art actually, called Owlboy. That's been out in the last few months. And again, not giving spoilers, but take a look at the story. It's an interesting story. An interesting ending, and, well, play for yourself. So, of course, if we are talking about pixel art, there is one more in particular that was very interesting, and of course, that's Stardew Valley.
Even I know about that one. Wasn't it a one-man show, so to speak?
Oh yes, very much a one-man show. It's pretty much a definition of indie game. Eric Barone, aka Concerned Ape, did everything: coding, art, music. He spent 4 years doing this. So it's a labor of love, very much. And all those 4 years, Well, I think he probably decided they were worth it because just a little while ago he got interviewed by PC Gamer.
Okay.
But he wasn't the only interviewee. The other interviewer needed a translator.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You never guess. Well, while you're chewing, Yasuhiro Wada. And who is Yasuhiro Wada? He is the creator of Harvest Moon, who was directly the inspiration behind Stardew Valley. And Yasuhiro has played Stardew Valley and liked it.
I'm sure.
So that was kind of a red letter moment for Concerned Ape. So anyway, as far as Stardew Valley is concerned, it's already had its first major update.
Okay.
More content, more end game goals, and new quests added to it, on top of the already popular features that were already in the game. And it's also now been ported to Xbox. So console gamers, you've got Stardew Valley now. Welcome to the community.
Yeah.
So
Concerned Ape did a good job on that. Well, it sounds like Stardew Valley's here to stay. There were quite a few games released throughout the year.
yes, scores and scores and scores of them. So let's see, what else? Now, a few offerings we have. Uncharted. Now that delivers Thief's End, and Dishonored 2 showed that, if you're going to be Empress, good cardio is a key.
I clearly I practiced that.
And Gears of War 4 showed that old soldiers don't die, they ride shotgun with their kids. So
many games.
So many games.
Yeah.
As say everyone look at the 2016 releases, everybody's going to find something to their taste.
But it's not all fun and games now, is it?
No, it's not. No. This year, it's ending on an interesting note because the voice actors, the SAG-AFTRA union, go on strike. They're strike mainly against 11 particular video game companies. They've even done virtual picketing of these companies. It's ongoing, so we're listening out for what's going to be the resolution to this, but neither side is budging right now, so you just have to wait and see, or hear, how this comes out.
And the big story for the year, what would you say?
The big story. The one that even non-gamers were talking about. No Man's Sky. Yes. All right, now, games, well, I won't go so far as to say they change lives, but they do have an impact on us. And few games have had the impact of this one, good or bad. Now, mentioning this, the things you never talk about at dinner is politics, religion, and No Man's Sky. Yeah,
Those are the three.
Yeah, this is enough to break up families, start physical altercations, and ruin the environment. Okay, all right, fine. Maybe not that last one. But still, it's something of an achievement when a mostly negative rating on Steam is actually an improvement of your status.
But didn't they get into legal trouble?
Almost. Very nearly. They were under investigation for fraudulent advertising. They have been cleared of charges. It was ruled that they had not misrepresented their game and the content of that game. What they showed was good representation of what players could expect. That was the official finding. However, the court of public opinion, I think they came up with a slightly different answer to that. So, well, all I can say is that decide for yourself.
Yeah. Well, Hello Games were MIA. They're back now and doing stuff.
Yeah. Hello Games, for those who don't know, are the people, the 50-man team behind No Man's Sky. They are pretty much a poster child for what not to do when your game is under attack, because they basically just disappeared.
Right.
There was no contact. There was nothing. Early on, a statement would have perhaps calmed things down a bit, but their continued silence just stoked the flames. And to the point where even the Reddit was shut down for No Man's Sky because it was deemed to be too toxic. That's another milestone because I don't think any other game has ever managed to do that.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
So, yeah. Well, now they're back, sort of.
Okay.
They released a huge update, which would have been nice to tell the fans, a few fans they still have, that, oh, you know, we've got something coming. Wait for it. It would have calmed down a lot of the criticism. But they do have, it's a huge update. It's a lot of content. It delivers on some of the promises that they made, broke, delayed, whatever. But such as base building and the ability to find your home planet. You know, once you left the planet, it used to be like it was hard to get back to it.
Right.
Now you can actually find your planet. You have freighters if you want to become a space merchant. It's a start. It's a start, but...
And there were 2 more games this year in particular that hit gamers' radar this year.
Yes. 2 of them that, well, let's just say that No Man's Sky needs to take notes. Osiris New Dawn and Astroneer.
Oh, right.
Now, interesting, No Man's Sky was a full release. These 2 games, Osiris New Dawn and Astroneer, are early access games. They're not finished yet, but already, even though they're in alpha, you know, they're providing a lot of what was missing in No Man's Sky. Things like multiplayer, for instance, that's already down. Osiris New Dawn already has dedicated servers, so you can play with your friends. Astroneer is still earlier in development. Right now, you can only do a sort of a peer-to-peer network thing. You can work through Steam and through Xbox. You can have up to 4 people in the game.
Okay.
Now, it is alpha. There are bugs. There are many, many bugs. But the game is very playable. It's very pretty. And you can do stuff.
It's always a help.
Yes. You, right now, for Astroneer, you can travel to other planets in your system.
Okay.
You can go exploring. You can find many, many, many ways to die. Apparently, space exploration, not safe.
Can't imagine.
For Osiris New Dawn, which is a bit more of a realistic textured game, Astroneer is a little more, I don't want to use the word cartoony exactly, but it's very bright, very vibrant colors. Very almost surreal in some of the planetscapes. Osiris New Dawn goes for a more realistic tone, to the point that in a sandstorm, your view gets clouded because you get dust on your faceplate.
As a regular sandstorm would dictate.
Yes. In that, they have just released their first major update to the early access, and they're preparing so you can now start to touch down on, I believe it's a moon, another moon in your system. So they've got their space exploration already settled. You could already build spaceships, you just didn't have anywhere to go.
Right.
Except to the space station, you could fly around. Now other planets are starting to be made accessible.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, what are you expecting for 2017? So this is our 2016 year in review. What's your expectation for 2017? So that way when we do our 2017 review, we can come back and visit this and see if you were correct.
Well, I probably will be because I'm not going to make any definitive speculations except that it'll be more of the same. The voice actor strike, I wanted to see how that resolves itself. Someone has to give somewhere at some point in time.
You'd think so.
Anyone who wants to know about what's going on, go online. There are several very good articles that details what's really at stake and shows both sides of the argument. So you can be informed. As far as games, we're waiting for a few games and a few MMOs to come down in 2017. So as soon as those come out, you know, we'll list them on our website, or we'll have a review or even a playthrough of a couple of those. I gotta say that it looks like there's going to be quite a few things that are going to be worth watching for the next year. So, you know, we'll update people as we get the news about them.
Sounds good.
So keep gaming.
Very good. Shari, as always, thank you so much for your gaming expertise and knowledge.
AJ Styles, I'm talking to you, boy. Next year, 2017, that strap is mine. You keep that belt warm. Right here. Right here.
Well,
Hit me up on Twitter.
well, that's a perfect segue. That will wrap up the gaming portion of the year in review, but stay tuned. We're coming right back at you with the year in review in wrestling with Dr. Rips and Professor Wolvie, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Bing, ba-bing.
See ya.